June 2025. 8 PLA generals vanish overnight. 2 undersea cables to Taiwan are sliced in the same week. Is President Xi Jinping clearing the deck for war or scrambling to keep his own house from collapsing? Welcome to the Legacy Report, where we decode power without the shouting match. Let's dive in. A 15-year-old Xi Jinping is exiled to the dusty caves of Liangjiahe during the Cultural Revolution. He sleeps on a flea-ridden Kang bed, hauls manure by day, and reads Das Kapital by kerosene flame at night. It takes 10 rejected party applications and 3 years of brick-making duty before local cadres finally sign off on his membership, praising his ability to eat bitterness. His father, Xi Zhongxun, a purged vice premier, quietly reminds him, survive first, reform later. Fast forward to 2012. Xi becomes general secretary on an anti-corruption banner. Within 3 years, more than 4 million officials are disciplined, 120 fall at minister rank or above, and 1,200 state firm CEOs lose corner offices they thought were lifetime perks. The signal is mathematical. 1 leader, 0 safe zones. Rocket Force Commander Li Yuchao, gone. Navy Chief of Staff Li Hanjun, gone. Central Military Commission troubleshooter Miao Hua, sidelined to a ceremonial think tank. Official charge, serious discipline violations. Unofficial anxiety lists 3 red flags. Missing solid fuel propellant worth $200 million. Counterfeit satellite chips funneled through a Hong Kong shell supplier called Golden Phoenix. Crypto speculation, losses that drained unit pension funds. And hovering above, US RQ-100E stealth drones can now geolocate China's silo doors in under 3 minutes. Xi wants commanders who execute without hesitation and scapegoats ready when hardware misfires. Xi calls the internet the biggest variable we cannot lose. Enter Great Firewall 2.0. AI sensors scrape 850 million daily posts on WeChat, Weibo, and Douyin. QR code street cameras sync with face scan turnstiles. The e-CNY wallet timestamps every noodle purchase down to the millisecond. 94% of Chinese adults now hold a digital bank ID linked to their national social credit file. Critics call it privacy suicide. State TV calls it precision governance. Most citizens shrug. Groceries arrive in 15 minutes and traffic fines auto-deduct before the driver finishes swearing. February 2025. A rusty dredger, registered in Fuzhou, drags anchor across 2 fiber optic cables northeast of Taiwan, throttling island bandwidth by 60%. Repair ships float idle as Beijing's Maritime Bureau reviews safety paperwork. Coast Guard cutters stage a live-fire exercise directly over the break. Strategists dub it quarantine rehearsal number 1. Because you don't need missiles if you can. Choke latency so banking apps time out. Redirect 20 LNG tankers with a single hazard notice. Hold $30 billion in semiconductors on the pier until factories beg for mercy. Youth unemployment stands at 26.4%. 1 in 4 graduates delivers bubble tea on electric bikes. Property giants Evergrande and Country Garden toss IOUs like confetti. Total developer debt tops $1 trillion, equal to Spain's GDP. Yet official defense spending climbs for the 29th straight year to $232 billion. Analysts peg the real bill near $340 billion when cyberspace and militia volunteer funds are folded in. How? Provinces sell victory treasury notes at 4% interest, a rate patriotic grandparents can't refuse. While shadow bonds hide in local government financing vehicles nobody outside the audit office can fully trace. A PLA daily editorial warns, humanoid combat platforms risk catastrophic confusion in complex electromagnetic environments. Translation: 120-kilogram biped robots still slip on gravel and cost more than 2 infantry platoons. Graybeard artillery generals stick to tube guns and rocket barrages. 20-something colonels argue that without software-defined warfare and drone swarms, China loses day 1. Recruitment chat rooms buzz with memes. Old men fight spreadsheets, young men fight algorithms. 48% of world container traffic sails within 100 nautical miles of Taiwan. 90% of 5-nanometer chips come from TSMC fabs perched on that quake-prone coast. Cable outage simulations show the NASDAQ could shed $3 trillion in 7 trading sessions. Malacca Strait insurance multiplies 500%. Mercedes delays every EV launch by 6 months for want of microcontrollers smaller than an oat flake. Winners move fast. Gujarat offers land in Dolera Smart City. Vietnam cuts corporate tax to 8%. Mexico lures TSMC with water rights near Monterrey. Globalization redraws itself while CEOs refresh supply chain dashboards. Xi frames each purge as crystal pure hygiene. Yet purging loyalists can look like a serpent devouring its own tail. Every fallen general once owed his rank to Xi's earlier favor. Add a demographic time bomb. China's working age population fell by 7 million last year, and the stakes tighten. If a Taiwan crisis triggers G7 tech sanctions, does the long property slide snap into freefall? That is the gamble. Win fast and rewrite the scoreboard, or bleed slowly and face unrest from Guangzhou to Urumqi. From cave dweller to red emperor, Xi Jinping has mastered survival. But survival alone is not legacy. Legacy demands outcomes. Reunify Taiwan without a shot, or risk a regional war that ricochets back to Beijing. The future balances on 3 fragile fulcrums. A handful of submarine cables, each thinner than a garden hose, but pulsing with 96% of Taiwan's international data. One backhoe in the wrong trench, or one trawler accidentally dragging anchor, can delay stock trades in New York, block Zoom calls in Tokyo, and paralyze semiconductor orders headed for Munich. The cables run just 35 meters below the surface as they skirt the Yaeyama Ridge. Repairs require deep-sea robots, calm seas, and Beijing's permission to enter its self-declared safety zone. Every extra hour the cables lie dark, logistics algorithms reroute, insurance premiums climb, and panic spreads faster than any naval blockade. A stack of hypersonic missiles, sleek as surfboards and advertised to fly Mach 10. On paper, they can arc 3,000 kilometers and dive onto a moving carrier deck. In practice, telemetry leaks hint at guidance packages that overheat in the plasma sheath, drifting 2, 3, sometimes 5 kilometers off target. A single misstrike could sink a neutral vessel or crater a coastal LNG terminal, inviting instant retaliation from navies itching to prove their own interceptors. The race is not only speed, it is software, sensor fusion, and the political nerve to press the launch icon, knowing the algorithm might blink. One leader's appetite for risk against a backdrop of slowing growth and shrinking youth. China's workforce shrank by 7 million last year. College grads deliver food on scooters, while ghost city mortgages eat family savings. The social contract once promised ever-rising living standards. Today it whispers patriotic sacrifice. History says leaders facing economic headwinds choose stimulus or foreign adventure. Xi's choice will ripple through mortgage rates in Sydney, soybean futures in Sao Paulo, lithium mines in Namibia, and pension funds in Toronto. These 3 levers, cables no thicker than your thumb, missiles that may miss, and one man's tolerance for danger, will decide whether headlines in 2026 read, "Digital Siege Averted," or "First Shots in the Strait." If Xi's purge is preparation for conflict, what should the rest of the world do next? Shore up cable redundancy, fast-track missile defenses, or double down on diplomacy before the first drone crosses the median line? Drop your thoughts below, smash like, tap subscribe, ring that bell, and stay tuned to the Legacy Report for more untold angles on the people who shape our world.